Okay, it's not actually Sunday, it's Saturday, so we're playing a bit earlier this week. We just couldn't get enough last week, so we thought we'd have a game Saturday instead. So we're playing Ogres against Orcs again. It's 2,400 points again. Playing the meeting engagement. Okay, I'm going to run you through the Orc army. There's a lot less proxies this time. I've actually got models slowly being assembled. I've even started painting a couple. So that's going pretty well. So we'll start with the proxy. We've got the rock lobber. Then we have 5 goblin wolf riders with bows. We've got a spear chucker, 40 black orcs, a chariot, 20 night goblin archers, a mangler squig. Then we have a unit of 19 boys with the general in. It's just a very basic war boss. We've got the BSB. It's just a big boss. We've got 40 big uns with extra hand weapons. 2 more spear chuckers. Then in reserve I have a bunker of night goblins with shields, and my level 4 and level 2. Both night goblins, and a doom diver, and that's it. So we'll see what size got.
Okay, my army has changed a little bit since last week, slowly refining it. So here on my left flank I have a lone saber tusk, then I have a stonehorn, 4 Mornfang cavalry, and then behind which is a Nobilar scrap launcher. I have a large horde of ogre bulls. In there is my BSB and my and a level 2 butcher, ably represented by the disjointed body of my firebelly, who's mid construction. And behind here is the ogre iron blaster. I have 3 lead belchers. Actual models now that they've come from eBay, and 10 Nobilars, and then over here I have a lone saber tusk, and then in reserve I have a unit of 5 iron guts with my level 4 slaughtermaster. What actually happened was we rolled meeting engagement. I deployed first. And then midway through Ollie's deployment we realised that we were supposed to roll to see, so what we did is we decided that we'd all deploy and then roll to see what was in reserve, so hence why.
Yeah, and I think that's a much more interesting way of doing it actually.
Yeah, it's really quite good. Yeah, because obviously if I'd rolled a 1 for these guys it would have been a very interesting game. But still, I didn't do too badly. Ollie came out quite bad, well, relatively bad, I think.
All my wizards off the table. So.
Yeah, so no, I don't think that will be too game breaking in the first turn. But yeah, we'll have to see how these changes, to the deployment rules affect the game. So yeah, Ollie tried to seize initiative and thankfully failed for once. And it's going to be Ogre Kingdom's turn 1. Okay, end of Ogre's turn 1. My Slaughtermaster and his unit moved on. Then everyone else sort of moved up. My Stonehorn passed its frenzy test, so it didn't have to charge the Wolf Riders, as they were just in range by its maximum charge range, so had to be careful there. I sent my lone saber tusk out, and was just about sort of millimeters within the 8-inch range, and out come 3 fanatics. Everyone else moved forward, getting in to position. Bit unfortunate that in the shooting phase I missed with my iron blaster, the mangler squig. It hopped over. I rolled the full 10. And it sort of hopped over, and then I rolled another 10 and just sort of scored 3 orcs of the black orc unit. then in the rest of the shooting phase, basically the lead belchers shot and killed 2 big uns. The other saber tusk up there, without anyone really to redirect, I'm sending him hopefully after the artillery. Let's hope he fights better than Gobos. Probably not with my dice rolling. The scrap launcher didn't really do too much either. I killed. I killed a. Oh no, I didn't kill anything. Yes.
Killed 3 black orcs with a cannon.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. The scrap launcher just, even though I hit 6, I failed to wound. The magic phase, I rolled a mighty 11 with both of Ollie's casters off. I thought I was going to have a field day, and then realised that he had 6 dispel dice, and only my level 2 was in range of anything. So, not particularly wanting to risk blowing up. I tried rolling Bone Crusher. I got a 10. Ollie just managed to roll a 10 on 6 dice. I think that was probably the worst roll I've ever seen.
Exactly 10 on 6 dice.
Hey man, it was a dispel. It was good. Didn't matter how bad the dice roll were. It was good. So yeah, unfortunately I've not had a chance to press home my magical advantage. So yeah, I think it's going to be honours even now. But yeah, interesting first go round, and we'll see what Orcs and Goblins got.
Okay, it's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 1. My bunker moved on, as did the Doom Diver, and everything just kind of moved. Well, they pretty much stayed where they were actually. These guys just kind of shifted back a little bit after I found out size unit is super fast. And then in the magic phase, I only rolled a pitiful 3 for the magic phase, so I managed to get off 1 spell, which of course irresistibly cast, and but luckily I only rolled a 7 and killed 3 night goblins, so that wasn't too bad. But it was actually Itchy Nuisance I cast on these guys, so I was pretty happy when I did get it off. But of course I rolled a 1, so I just removed reduced their movement by 1, and of course Sai has the Banner of Swiftness. So they're actually just the same as they were anyway. Apart from they are Initiative 1 now, which is quite nice. Well, the Initiative 2 guys are now Initiative 1, which is going to give me a little bit of an advantage, but not much. So that was good. Then in the shooting phase, these guys managed to not kill this Saber Tusk, which is a bit annoying. The Night Goblins here managed to kill off the wounded Saber Tusk. The Fanatics just went around like crazy. This one went through the Night Goblins. In the compulsory move phase, just killed 1 of them, which is quite nice. That one moved through the Saber Tusk, which wounded it just before they killed it. And this one's just like chilling out over here. These guys just kind of moved up to redirect the Stonehorn, hopefully. And big news, of course, is my Mangler Squid went through his Mournfang, did 5 wounds to them, and then just popped out the other side. Then when my Spear Chucker fired at them, did a wound, which of course caused a panic test, because that was 25%. And then they fled, they failed their leadership test, because they were just out of range of the BSB. And they fled running into the Mangler Squig, which then did another 6 wounds to them, and killed them outright. So that Mangler Squig just ate an entire unit of Mournfang. So yeah, like that. But, you know. So yeah, so pretty good turn really. So I've still got this huge horde of ogres to contend with, but I'm not so worried about this flank now. But it does leave my black orcs pretty much pissing in the wind with nothing to do, but I can live with that. So that's the end of Orc and Goblins turn 1.
Okay, end of Ogres turn 2. Some interesting things have happened. Unfortunately, my Stonehorn failed his frenzy test and barreled straight into the Wolf Riders, ripping them asunder, and then brilliantly charging 10 inches, which puts him exactly an inch off the away from the battlefield edge, which is slightly problematic. Over here, no Mournfang unfortunately, and no scrap launcher. As it turned out, I was being naughty and didn't actually have it in my army, so I've obviously removed that. But yeah, the Iron Guts with my Slaughtermaster have moved up. The Iron Blaster, which I actually do have, moves around to try and draw a bead on the Rock Lobber. He shot, but didn't quite get there. Everyone else just kind of moved up. My big horde unit just moving forward slightly because the Orcs are just backing up, ready to try and get a counter charge. So yeah, unfortunately, the Saber Tusk over on my right flank charged into the bolt thrower, hoping to do absolutely untold casualties and rip it to pieces and send them fleeing, so I could get in and smash apart his other one. No, went in, needed 3s then 3s, and fluffed everything with 1s. So yeah, and then to make matters worse, Ollie went and rolled and passed his bloody leadership test. So yeah, that's going to be a pillow fight of all pillow fights. But yeah, they're still alright. I've still got most of my army. Bit gutted my Stonehorn is over there. Obviously, if I'd managed to bring him here, I would have had a rather nice flank refusal situation, which would have actually sort of put me in a pretty good position. But yeah, was not to be, unfortunately. So yeah, it will be Orcs and Goblins turn 2 next.
Okay, it's the end of Orcs and Goblins turn 2, and in an effort to try and reclaim some of my plan back, I actually ended up sending some Night Goblins into Fnatic just to clear them out of the way, so the Black Orcs didn't have to walk through them. And they fled after taking 4 wounds. Then I sent the Spear Chucker into another Fnatic to kill that one, and that killed the crew for the Spear Chucker. So that died. But it did leave the way open for me Black Orcs, so it's pretty orky there. Sent all the Goblins in to clear out the Fanatics, just so the Orcs could walk safely. In other movement, I moved these guys into the building, these guys up. These guys failed their animosity and charged into the Ogres, which was wasn't good. I was pretty annoyed with that. But then that was Orcs and Goblins. Then in the magic phase, yeah, and everything else just kind of moved up as you see it. The magic phase, I managed to get off Itchy Nuisance with Irresistible Force again onto these guys, reducing their movement and initiative by 2, which helped in the combat at least because I was going first. Shooting phase, my Doomdiver managed to put 2 wounds onto the Stonehorn. My Rock Lobber blew itself up. This did nothing. This one actually lost combat with the Saber Tusk this time, so that ran out of luck. The other one obviously died when it charged the Fnatic. Well, didn't charge it, but just moved into it. And then in close combat, these guys fought the Ogres and actually did a ruckload of wounds, then so I did a ruckload back. But it turns out I won, and because I actually have the same amount of ranks as him, he wasn't actually steadfast, and he lost the combat.
Yeah, because and even I've just done the calculations on the calculator. You did 20 wounds,
yeah,
and the exact average for what you had to roll was 17.6.
Oh right, so he did so like 2 wounds above average,
yeah,
and won the combat.
And I actually got 1 more. I saved 1 more wound above average than I should have done anyway. So
yeah. So
yeah.
I won the combat. We've just resolved it. He's run away. I didn't quite catch him, but his biggest unit is running away.
Yeah.
So
that leaves me. Well,
I was pretty much looking at.
It's basically 1,000 points there.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wrap this game up, I think, and just have another one.
Yeah.
Sounds like the best way to go. Still quite early, so we thought we'd give another one a go. But it just shows you like the risks. One of the risks of having a big Death Star is that, but it doesn't happen very often. And I think it's we did work out the averages. It wasn't necessarily unlucky, but it was just one of those things that can happen.
Yeah.
But
it was kind of sort of you got the best of a bad situation.
Yeah. And ironically, I wasn't planning on charging them. It was because of the animosity they charged. I was just hoping to hang back and get some guys in the flank to try and beat them. But some random event actually occurred and actually won me the game.
Yeah, obviously my plan would have been to get into position and knowing that Ollie really couldn't back up any further, I sort of hemmed him in, and I knew I was going to get a flank charge. I mean, that was kind of the given. But the plan was basically to smash in, because obviously I don't get my stomps. Although actually, come to think of it, I would have got stomps there, but it wouldn't have made any difference to the the outcome. I'd need to do 5 wounds basically with 6 stomps.
Yeah, for reference, even if he had got the stomps, he rolled, what was it, like 10 then 11?
It was 10 and 9 or something like that. Yeah. But still, I think I was
still above your leadership. So.
Yeah. So yeah, that was going on. Really, what I would have needed would have been ideally an ogre charge, with them buffed up with troll guts and preferably toothcracker.
Yeah.
Because then with that, I would have stood a pretty good chance of like hanging in there, and then I would have known that I would have smashed his unit, got rid of them, turned around to face his general's unit, which is obviously considerably smaller.
Yeah. I mean, beating that unit would have got you loads of points.
Yeah, and then I would have been in a good situation to be sat there with you having to charge a fully buffed up unit of a horde of ogres that would put out massive damage potential.
Yeah, but those
are the plans, but
yeah. So that was a bit of a surprise. We won't have a very long lamentation on this one because we're just going to get moving on the next one. But it's a pretty fun game up until that point.
It was pretty crazy.
I wasn't expecting that at all, so it was quite nice. I really like how Orc Biggins kick people in the head. So that's pretty much all the Orcs have to say. Orc Biggins, way to go, awesome. Okay, so we'll see you in the next game, which is nice. So.